Hello Flight Simmers, I'm Adam. Welcome back to continuation of the free True Earth series. In this video we're going to use FsEarth Tiles to download and create our photoreal mapping, and then in the next video I'll show you how you can mask the shorelines. Now this whole process is going to be split over a few videos, and it's a 10-step easy process. Broken it down, made it super easy. The first step is literally run FsEarth Tiles and choose your area that you wish to do. So we've opened FsEarth Tiles. Now we want to make sure that these folders here are as they should be. It's very important, your working folder, your scenery folder. We have set this up in the previous video. If you haven't seen that video, there is a link in the description box down below to that video where it shows you how to set up all the programs we're going to use to create our free True Earth in 10 easy steps. So first one, step one, is choose your area. We are going to use Google Maps, and we are going to choose somewhere very simple that is an island, because it'll give us instant results. And the smallest one I can think of that is got a decent amount of autogen on it is this little beast here, Portevila, which isn't a Spanish island, but I don't know why I did the accent. So to give you some scale of how big Portevila is, obviously this is Australia, this is New Zealand, this is New Caledonia, so you can see how big New Caledonia is compared to New Zealand. If we scroll into New Caledonia, how big is New Caledonia compared to Portevila, right? So Portevila is tiny, right? This is a tiny island. But I've looked at OpenStreetMap data, and it's got full trees, full buildings. It's a good island to do, and it's got some interesting coral sections around here, which I'll probably want to keep some of these around here. The whitewash bit here, I want to keep that effect in. So we're going to do the masking of the water ourselves in the next video. So in this video, now that we know where our island is, we need to go find it in here. Now, you can use coordinates in these boxes here if you're looking for maybe just an obscure city or somewhere on the map that is not easily accessible. You just type in the coordinates and it'll display it here. I've never used that feature. I just zoom out here, clicking the upper arrow on the zoom to 15. And it gives me a good overview of the world. And because I know where my island is, there is a little black dot here on the screen, and you just center that over where you want to go down. So we'll put it on New Caledonia, and then we'll go down slightly, and there is our island. So we'll put the black dot on the island and zoom down some more. Now this zoom button here has no feature, no direct link to the download of your files. It literally is just for previewing it, so it does not affect anything in this box here. So I don't know if you can see, but let me show you here. So this box here is kind of like your guide to how big your project's going to get. So it tells you here your required workspace, how much disk space is required to even create the add-on, and then the estimated scenery size is kind of an estimate of your output files. So this can be a helpful guide. The other guide here is your download resolution scale, telling you exactly the quality of your photoreal that you'll be downloading. Now I don't really recommend going above 3, which is 4 meters per pixel, unless that's like desert of the Sahara. Like there's literally no point in going down below 4 meters per pixel. It just gets too blurry and too rubbish, to be honest. I tend to use 0, which is 50 centimeters per pixel. That's higher quality than Orbex True Earth. So we'll be making higher quality add-ons than the payware version of this, absolutely for free. So, but if disk space is a problem for you, because obviously these can take up a lot of file a lot of space on your drives. So if space is tight, then drop it down to 1 or 2. The difference in quality is noticeable from 0 to 2, but the disk space you save for your output files is quite considerable. So if I was to do this in download resolution of 0 and do it in full res, it's going to give me a output file of about 20 gig. Like, that's the final add-on, TrueWorth add-on with all the autogen, about 21, 22 gig, which is pretty big for this tiny little island. If I drop it down to download resolution 1, the final output file is like 8 or 9. It's better than half the size reduction. So, but the quality between 1 meter and 50 centimeters is very tiny. Like, and to be honest, with 1 meter per pixel in version 6, you could still go down to like 200 feet off the ground and it'd still be pin sharp. In version 5, you'd probably need to be about 4,000 feet off the ground for it to be pin sharp. Once you get down to like 1,000 feet, it starts to get blurry. But to 50 centimeters, like you could go down to 50 feet in version 6, or you could go down to like 500 to 1,000 feet in version 5. So I plan to do all the world in download resolution 0. Now this can go below 0. It can go to -1, -2, but all it's doing is zooming in to the native resolution of the original data. The original data is download resolution 0. That's it. That's the best it'll ever get. And if you want to see what the data looks like at that level, you can actually zoom in to the island and you can see how much the detail is there. So this is basically the quality of the of that terrain data, which like you could probably see if we center this over a populated area, well, you could probably see somebody mowing their lawn. Like if we got lucky with when they took this picture. Like this is very high quality. Download resolution 0. Like look at that. You could actually see people on the streets. You can see cars. It's like spying, basically. It's like being a CIA spy, and this, I mean, yeah, anyway. So this zoom, like I said, doesn't have any link to the stuff that you download though, so I tend to have it to where I can see the island in full, and that's it. So let's start to create the photoreal now. Click draw here and you'll get this crosshairs, and basically you want to draw a box around the area you wish to do. It doesn't really need to be exact when you first draw it. You can just sort of make sure you get it all, but for every single, you see it's all broken up into grids here, for every single box here it's a separate area. Okay, so this one has 30 areas and it's going to require over 200 gig of required workspace, and the final output file will be 31 gig. Wow. That's quite a big chunk. That's like, for this tiny island, that's massive. But you'll notice that a lot of these squares are just pure water. We're not going to need those at all, so we can shimmy this in a bit to the edge of the island and do the same all around, because water, we're going to mask it out in the next video, and I'll show you exactly how you can do that. So once we get it edge to edge, it's now 25 areas, and the required workspace is 152 gigs. So it's literally halved that amount, or not halved, but a quarter of that required workspace has been shaved off. And it says the final output size will be 23 gig. So that's still quite big. Now, if you're doing islands, I recommend leaving a little gap to the edge. Don't go straight to the edge because masking becomes harder. You do want a little bit of water, but even so, there's still tiles here that are pure water and don't have any land data in at all. So these don't really count either. So this estimated screen size, scenery size, will probably shrink down even more. So I'm happy with that. That's all good. Like I said, you can zoom in if you want to see the quality of the data that you'll be collecting. It doesn't change how it downloads, but you can sort of see neat features of rivers and stuff like that. so we'll just leave that out. Right, so once we've done that, that basically was step 2, was to draw around your area. So that's done. Step 3 is click start, basically. But before we click start, make sure compile scenery says no. Everything else is fine. Area snap off, yes. Use cache, yes. FSX scenery compiler, make sure you select that one. And virtual Earth is what we're using. Google Earth is too much of a fanny about to use, and the data isn't exactly any different. This is the same data that Microsoft used for their flight simulator. For Asobo have access to this and then enhance it further, but we're using the exact same raw data. Google Earth, it all comes from the same source, but it's the algorithm of how they change it is what the difference is. So this is the original source. If we want to change it, like to remove these clouds, we can, but not using FsEarth Tiles. You would have to use Photoshop, something that's this series isn't going to actually cover. So I just pretend it's snow on the mountaintops anyway. So that's basically everything. You can leave create masks to yes, that's fine. But definitely want to make sure compile scenery no, because what will happen now, once we click start, it'll start going through its process of downloading the data. So as you can see, it's taking all the pictures, running through all the tiles. There's 25 areas to run through, and there is 118,000 plus tiles to collect. That's a lot of data. Think of it like this as well. If you're at download resolution 0, each area is going to be roughly 5 gig of outputted file size. 2 gig, 2 gig of outputted file size. So you're going to end up with quite a hefty... No, it's not actually, is it? So think of it like this. For every tile size, if you're at download resolution 0, for every tile or area that you've got, basically think of that as how big your file size is going to be, because it's something like 1 gig per area of your outputted file size. And then if you want a good estimation, times this number by 5, and that will tell you how much hard drive space you need. Like, these are estimates down here, but I tend to find that they're okay, but it always runs a little bit over, you know. So what's happening here is this green bar goes all the way across the top through area 1, and then it'll move on to create the seasons: summer, spring, winter, all that. And then it would go on to compile the scenery if we wanted it to, but we don't. It skips that step and then goes on to the next area, and then that green bar comes back here and it goes up again, and once it's done that 25 times, it's done. Now, I don't need to let this run through. I've already done that. When you get finished through running through this, in the sat data folder will be all the work files that you'll need for the next video, masking the water. If you aren't interested or you have no water to mask out, you can actually skip that and go to compile scenery, and it will automatically compile the scenery and place the final files in the add-on folder here, scenery and texture. And then these 2 folders are your output add-on. Just need to go put them somewhere, give them a name in terms of renaming this add-on folder here to something else. Just all you have to do is copy out or cut out the 2 folders here, place them inside another folder, and give that one a name. And then you can put your add-on in your simulator. So that's basically it for this. It's that easy, to be honest. Easy, you know. Like I said, once it's finished, that's it, you're done. And then you can go watch the next video where we mask out the water lines if you have any shorelines in your video. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget, I give away €50 every single month of SimMarket Flight Sim voucher add-on things you can get for free. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win is be a subscriber to my channel, leave comments in every one of my, or any of my P3D videos or Flight Sim videos. And at the end of the month, I go live with the vlog and I announce the giveaway winner and send the vouchers out. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.